Malaika and Riteish. Shantanu and Nikhil, let's start with you. So, could you tell us about your collection, about the both of them walking around for you, and how you feel and everything LFW?
So we'll make this really quick so that you all can go home. This was, I think, the first time that at Lakme or maybe on the Indian platform where we got a chance to showcase two collections separately. It wasn't where one collection had both men's and women's, and this was an effort we made sincerely because we felt our women's wear should be catered to the women we cater to, and the men don't need to be forced into it or vice versa. And our men are very, very strong. They obviously demand that attention, and I think it's about time our men get some attention. So we felt this would be a good platform to do so. Having said that, Malaika still steals the attention away from all the men.
No. I think the men today stole all the attention, if you ask me.
So, yeah.
So, continuing from where Nikhil left, the idea was to do something unique. The idea was to do two stories, one maybe fictional, the other one based on a real incident in 1919. That's why the collection, the menswear story was called The Mutiny. It had some anecdotes of the Jallianwala Bagh incident and how, as a community, the Sikhs always hold themselves in really high esteem and pride. Both the collections had a common sort of crossover where it was all about strength, resilience, resurrection, so to say, a belief, positive belief that there is life after death. So both the collections had similar anecdotes. The Mutiny obviously had Riteish walking for us, a perfect protagonist, I would say, with the way he's looking, the way he's carrying himself, and Malaika, of course, had every nuance of how a matador woman should be, full of fierceness, grace, femininity, and at the same time strength.
Thank you. Malaika, would you like to say a few words?
Well, like I said, I think Shantanu and Nikhil said everything that needed to be said, but I think the men really were fantastic tonight. Even though we're here, I mean, we kept discussing about the fact that how women, right now are really shining, and women are out there and they're doing their thing, and they're so powerful, etc., etc. But for me tonight, I have to say, the men just were outstanding. Riteish, you were phenomenal. I think men in turbans look really handsome, and I still can't stop staring. And I have to say that you have done such a fantastic, outstanding collection for both men and women, and I'm really glad and I'm really happy that I finally got a chance to work for you. For years we've been discussing it. Yes. I love your clothing, and I'm really glad that I can be here to portray that strong, fierce, feminine woman that you were talking about.
Thank you. That's very, very sweet.
And Riteish, would you like to say a few words?
Yes. Thank you so much, Malaika. I think you were looking absolutely stunning. And
it's mutual admiration.
No, it's not about mutual admiration. I'm sure everyone. I almost forgot that I have to walk. I was stuck there looking at you. You looked gorgeous, and Shantanu and Nikhil have been friends for a very long time. I'm so happy and glad that I got a chance to walk for them today. And today being special because the kind of strength the collection showed, and also the collection itself, Mutiny. There's a sense of pride, a sense of hope. And like Shantanu said, a sense of resurrection. There's a lot of strength in each and everyone who walked on stage. And it was my long-standing dream to wear a pug and see myself. But who better than Shantanu and Nikhil? I get to wear this walk for them, and that too to a certain concept which I absolutely adore. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Any questions?
Anything? I secretly have a crush on him.
I would also like to introduce Riteish Deshmukh. He did.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh yes, I have to say, this is the first time I walked to live music, and I think our percussionist was fantastic. Yeah. So let's please give him a huge round of applause. I think it was really, really amazing.
Thanks for bringing Spain alive for us. I mean, it's amazing how live music can change emotions. It can bring a lot of new essence to people when we were sitting, and I'm really glad that you made it.
Yeah, and after a long time, a stage had two Deshmukhs.
Let's open the floor for a few questions.
Nikhil, how do you always come up with such views, revolutionary thoughts?
I think that we are very real people, and we witness our life on a daily basis. We are very organic in our thought. We are Punjabis, and Amritsar is very close to us. And as it is with our travels, when we travel to different places, we again look at people, and I think that's what drives us. So I don't know if it's revolutionary, but really we're just living simple lives.
Shantanu and Nikhil, congratulations for the show. We were all discussing among colleagues, though they didn't told me to, but this one of the most perfect show which we have seen in the Lakme fashion.
Woo! Wow!
Thank you.
That's a great honor.
Papa ji kaun the
Papa
Are
ji?
there some real life heroes talking
Acha, no,
In the
so
show,
it is important that, as real as we are, we wanted to portray people who are from reality. Daljit is a friend of ours from Delhi, and so is Manak, who are reals with us. And by them walking, actually they brought in that influence very well for us. Because reality is where I think fashion is also going. It's not about fantasy anymore.
Are you from the defense background or
Nahi ji,
freedom fighters?
No, freedom fighters.
No, somebody from their generation. I think you said.
I think, as a community, people are, their great grandfathers are all connected. The family tree is it's all connected to Punjab. So at some point, yes, I'm sure.
Malaika, आपको देख के सांसें और धड़कनें दोनों थम गई थी।
आपकी भी सांस है?
करना था रितेश के इंतजार में, लेकिन बाकी फिर आप चली गई तो किसी तरह से वापस आ गई।
Can we ask questions?
नहीं, it's a very valid question.
Riteish, can you just tell us about the process of getting into this look? How was it for you?
No, I think Mike, I think this has been a process for me because Nikhil messaged me saying, I'm going to send you a video clip. You need to get into the character, so he actually kept briefing me how important it was. So I'm glad that I could feel the importance of this collection, what goes to him, and I'm glad that I could try in my own way to at least be 1% of the kind of emotions they have been living for past 4-5 months. So wearing these clothes, I've actually just tried them once and they were perfect. So I always tell them that how do you manage to do this every time. And apart from that, I guess more than clothes, it's a lot about emotions, and they worked a lot on how these guys would actually walk out. So even from makeup, for the first time, I have something black in my eye, and they've really gone down to the detailing, and I'm glad that I got this chance to walk tonight.
Was there any kind of briefing that was given to you in terms of to walk with some aggression?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was all about being solid and showing a certain kind of strength and a certain pride, holding your head high with pride, and walk straight. And that's it. Just walk straight, don't interact, walk back.
There was nothing flippant about it. Everything was like he said, there was a sense of pride and there was a sense of being fierce and a sense of feeling powerful. That's what it was.
Did you at any point of time feel that probably you should go and accompany Riteish and walk the ramp with him once?
I felt that.
So for the designers who primarily take inspiration from their traveling experiences, how was it working on something that belongs to our history?
Yeah, so recently we did a show about 6 months ago on the Indian cabinet when it was being formed after independence. And again, so we have been connected to India in past 2 seasons, and I think now it's time for our country. And maybe in the next 2 seasons also we'll be looking at India.
More Western inspiration.
Well, in the women's wear was completely Western. As you saw, it was based on Spain, and that again came from our travels to Sevilla. And we met some incredible people, and they inspired us. It wasn't really the architecture as much as people.
Also, what our love for menswear has done for us is that it's opened up a market also for people who want to, look good and attend other people's functions. It sort of gives us more control over our silhouettes and construction, which we are very good at in menswear. So this is occasion where it almost instantly connects with people who want to wear less is more, and less is the new admirable. And I think for that, a concept which is primarily based on patterns and fits, you go back to the roots, and that is India. You bring in a lot of organic flavor to it. So it's a matter of coincidence that this collection too had very strong ingredients of India in it, and we're proud of it.
मलाइका एंड रितेश, आप दोनों से जानना चाहिए सबसे फैशनेबल थिंग्स आपके लिए क्या और ट्रेंड्स को कितना फॉलो करते हैं आप लोग?
ट्रेंड्स तो मैं फॉलो नहीं करती. आई थिंक
ट्रेंड बनाती हूँ.
हाँ जी हाँ, मैं ट्रेंड्स बनाती हूँ, मुझे फॉलो बिल्कुल करना नहीं. लेकिन आई थिंक इट्स अ वेरी एक्सपेंसिव प्रोपोजिशन टू कॉन्स्टेंटली फॉलो ट्रेंड्स. सो आई कीप इट really basic. I keep it to my denims because trying to follow every season with every change of in clothing, it's a little too heavy on the pocket. But when we have amazing friends as designers who constantly dress us up and who constantly keep us abreast with everything that's new and trendy, I think that really helps.
रितेश, आपसे जानना चाहेंगे क्या आप ट्रेंड्स फॉलो करते हैं?
नहीं, जहाँ तक ट्रेंड्स का सवाल है, मुझे लगता है कि शांतनु और निखिल जैसे डिज़ाइनर्स ये सेट करते हैं, और जब इनका कोई कलेक्शन नया आता है तो हम फ़ोन करते हैं क्या हम ये पहन सकते हैं. तो मुझे लगता है ट्रेंड्स ये लोग सेट करते हैं और इनके कपड़े पहनकर हम
खुश हो जाते
हैं और उसी को फॉलो करते हैं. और जहाँ तक स्टाइल की बात है, मुझे लगता है कि एक तो कंफर्ट होना बहुत ज़रूरी होता है कि आप जिस भी चीज़ में कंफर्टेबल हो, चाहे वो टी शर्ट भी हो, जीन्स भी हो, और अगर आप कॉन्फिडेंट हो जो उस पहन रहे हो, I think it looks great. So that's it. Comfort and confidence. That's it.
Nikhil and Shantanu, hi. Karmik
Hi.
here from iCarmic.com.
Hi,
I
Karmik.
would like to congratulate the two of you because there are very few menswear designers in India who we look up to, and that is one reason why I ensure I never miss your show.
Thank you.
So,
That's wonderful.
thank you for giving us such a fabulous show, especially in the menswear category. So, Malaika, you were fantastic.
But I said that the minute I sat here. I said it.
Yes, absolutely. The one commonality, even though the inspirations were
Different,
about one from Spain and one from India, the one commonality that I found is you kept the top half of the silhouettes very structured, and the fluidity came in as it went down.
Wow.
So, sorry.
Yeah, no,
That's very observant.
Yeah,
I have
that's
to
a
say.
very good.
Thank you very much.
That's
So, but I would like you to tell me a little bit about that, especially to take you back to your drawing board. What were the thoughts and how did that happen?
So every time I look at my hands and people ask me why are your hands so big, I realized a few years ago because I can drape, and these fingers are massive because I pick up fabric and I drape, and I love draping. And it was always our dream to make sure that men get an opportunity to wear something that we make for women and vice versa. So we started working on the drape, and then finally we arrived to the fact that we are good with the drapes that come from bottom up. And that's one of the reasons why, and that also works really well for men because they look lean on top, and usually men are pretty slim at the bottom, so that drape gives them a bit of volume which works for them. So it was ironical, and then it finally became a...
You guys have kind of claimed the Grecian drapes,
Yeah.
so to say, in India.
Yeah, well, big hands.
This time a distinct departure from that. I mean, even though there were a few military inspirations and Grecian inspirations, which I saw especially in the menswear.
Yeah.
But was it a conscious decision to go away from Greece?
Yeah, you can't be stuck to a place for very long. Even a lot of the Grecians left and went to different places of the world. And I think that, we've in the past few years, we've become far more nostalgic about our country and the texture it provides us. I mean, when you travel by train, you smell so many different flavors and essences even when you open the door and stand outside. So we are trying to take as much as we can from India because it's giving us a lot.
Anything away from beautiful sari, there are millions of ways of actually draping a sari, and that's what pretty much triggers that whole thing in us to use that drape from a sari concept and then use it across the spectrum. Really, you don't need to go to Greece to understand drape because the sari gives us enough inspiration to go ahead and drape.
Riteish? वहिनी पण इकडे आलो. कसा वाटला? कसा वाटला
Yeah, I don't know. After this, आपके लिए मैं यहाँ पर आया तो मुझे पता नहीं उनको कैसा लगा. तो जिन्हें अभी फोन करूँगा और पूछूँगा उनको कैसा लगा.
But being a Maharashtrian, now seeing you in a Sikh getup, that's what I was asking you. कि मतलब
No, absolutely. I think हम लोग, everyone is born in a particular house, but we belong to India, and I'm sure that a Maharashtrian can wear this outfit as much pride as a Sardar would wear. And I think that's the beauty of our country.
Beautiful.
Karan, would you like to say a few words about your music and your inspiration?
So basically the brief I had was the same thing. So I just probably thought, and it was probably a visual treat for my music, so I could actually see music. It wasn't just what people were hearing, but they were actually watching the expressions of the models who were walking, and so as and when they were walking, I was feeling, and the music which was constantly on the loop, the flamenco guitars and all that. So I really felt at some points where I should really go, build it up and have like a very crescendo kind of a feel. Some places where it needs to be like just, hold kind of a groove. So yeah, basically the models inspired me, and I would say it was a visual treat for me.
Bad boy.
Good job.
Shantanu and Nikhil, I want to ask one question to Riteish and Janelia.
Malaika.
Against the last question.
कभी जिन्हें बनाए.
मतलब मैं उसी
Yes, no problem.
फील में था.
थोड़े कैरेक्टर में थे.
आपकी फिल्म भी आ रही है बेंजो का बच्चन. तो कुछ कहना चाहेंगे आप?
I think ये प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं है फिल्म के बारे में बात करने के लिए.
Let's do the photo op.
मैं बैंजो में नहीं हूँ.
That's it. Let's do it.
बजाना मुझे आता है.
थैंक यू.
जी सॉरी आप.
मैं पूछ रहा हूँ कि
Of course you'll see me very soon, and when जैसे उन्होंने कहा कि ये प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं है to discuss films right now, but we shall in the near future for sure.
Yeah, okay, you guys need to